ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you.
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we stop that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Comes with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives.
I kind of like this. This is like an apartment in a hotel. You know what I mean? This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the grace. I'm just trying to get it.
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base.
Yeah. Yeah, man, a full time we open we eyes and see what go on. Objective truth. Yeah. Unplugged from the matrix. Yeah. Wake up out of the madness. The scripture them, I take way back to basics. The truth we must have to face it. Yeah, yeah. Unplugged from the matrix. Enough attack but them love to say things. We never did fee no ratings. Yeah. Join us every Friday from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Unplugged from the Matrix. Unplugged from the Matrix. Get unplugged. Welcome to Unplugged from the Matrix Raw. Yeah. Well, it seems like, you know, the whole earth talking about what's going on in Hollywood. We already know what's going on. I mean, it's the biggest story. But, you know, Commanding General Yahanna, General Mahaimin, they broke it down all the way flat. I mean, it's only fitting that we echo everything that has been said by, you know what I mean, our leader, Commanding General Yahanna. Yo, this is a special episode of Unplugged from the Matrix, Raw. I'm your host, Officer Ayaza of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Big up to my co-host, Captain of 10,000, you know what I'm saying, Yagarwap, and Officer of 1,000, Tabawan Yahawada. Let's listen to what the General has to say, man.
What's going on, fam? Commanding General Yahanna, ISUPK.com is the website. Glad to be up in the building with you tonight. Talk about a couple of things, man, that we mentioned about earlier. It's our chance to get up in, you know, and talk about it. First of all, okay, the situation that took place at the Oscars was just so much bigger than just Will Smith and Jada and Chris Rock. Like, what happened at the Oscars it was indicative of our whole life. Will Smith did Jada Smith did to Will what America's been doing to us for 400 years. It's the exact same abuse, man. Because what Will doesn't understand is that he's the victim of abuse. He's the victim of having a woman who gets control of you and then abuses you and belittles you and lowers you as much as she possibly can. He doesn't understand that the whole reason he went off on Chris Rock had nothing to do with how he felt. It had not, he laughed when the original joke was said. He laughed along with Chris Rock. And why did he do a 360-degree turn? Because it's called abuse. It's when somebody psychologically abuses you so that you don't operate based on your best intelligence or based on your own feelings and thoughts. You react the way that abuser has trained you to react based on what they say and do towards you. And that's what happened to that brother. He needs serious therapy and he needs some separation away from that monster that he's dealing with. And another thing too, man, this is something else to learn too. A lot of brothers come up and say they don't want to do what their father did. They don't want to abandon their wife the way their father abandoned them. I got bad news for you, man. You ever think about that father abandoned your mother because he had good reason to abandon her? You ever think that he abandoned that mother because she was such a monster and so intolerable that he knew it was better for his manhood to walk away than to sit there and have her use the power of America to destroy him? A lot of women jump up and say, well, there ain't no excuse. He should have stood up with him. You know, every incident doesn't mean you got to stay with the woman that's your wife. Because what you don't understand is that your wife is just not the only person in the room that you're fighting. You're fighting the entire empire, America, and its way of life and its thoughts and all that. You know how many brothers argue every day with trying to tell their wives how to dress, how to not dress like a hoe, but she pushes to dress like, even if she's not a hoe. In many cases, she pushes to dress like a hoe simply because that's what she's taught in America. You turn on Amazon or whatever thing that they sell things on, and they got spandex on, halfway see-through spandex, all kind of, booty shorts, all of that. And so a brother might be like, look, man, you my woman. I don't want you dressing like that. But the pushback is everything that's being taught by America. And so you fight more than just you and that woman. And let me tell you something, Mark. It's very rare that a real good woman is alone. That's a rare thing. Like a woman that is kind and gentle and caring and supportive, she could be the worst cat in the world. In his most delusional state, it's rare he's just going to walk out on her. 9 out of 10, your husband walked out. Not all cases, and especially not the case if he's on drugs. If he's on drugs, that changes the whole dynamic of the entire situation. But in many cases, man, your wife, your husband left out on your wife because he couldn't deal with her, because she was intolerable, and America backs it up. That's why they got such a such a huge. Yeah, I'll take one to what they have such a giant campaign against with domestic violence. What the hell is wrong with me? Domestic violence. So when you got a whole bunch of domestic violence, man, the whole social structure is destroyed. And what happens is, because America backs her up, a lot of times you fighting more than just the immorality in your house. You fighting a whole structure of the empire that's against you, man. And brother, that's something that is very, very difficult to battle. And let me tell you something. Black men are in that state every day. Right now, the same thing that Will Smith did is black men doing all day, having emotional explosions against everybody around them. And with these outbursts, getting violence. And that comes from the same low self-esteem that we've been beat down with in this empire. You understand? Just think about it. A woman that abused you, she's gonna lower you. She's gonna talk to you like you're garbage. What does America do? Treat you like you're garbage. You're black and Latino in America, you're treated like a second class citizen. So lock you up too many hours, man. Like a second class citizen. And so as a result, you get abused, and eventually you want to lash out. And that's what happened in that same situation. Jada Smith is a narcissistic pedophile.
Yo. Hey, listen, I'm gonna do a quick roll call. We're live. Don't think that we're not live. We're live. I just wanna big up everybody in here. For Galbawa, Officer 50.
Unplugged from the Matrix.
Damn. I'm a one. Napash. Who else? Sister Banathia Howada. You know what I mean? Big up yourselves.
Jada Smith is a narcissistic pedophile. That's what she is. She's a narcissistic, child molester. And it's sad. It's sad what happened to Chris Rock based on her. Even though I heard that his tickets is going through the roof. People are going to his show like crazy now over the whole thing. We're going to get a little bit into the audio of it. And that's good for him, man. That's good for him. Because our people, man, we done lost our way when it comes to justice. This man go up and smack the hell out of Chris Rock. And we act like he did a good thing. Like it was fine. Like it wasn't that big a deal. You understand? And all of it come, like I said, for having a wife that is abusing you and you attempting to stay with her no matter what, even though she's abusing you. And as a result, you act out. You act out. And that's what happened with him. Right now, Will Smith is not even operating on his own page. And the same thing to blacks and Latinos. Black people, David Chappelle said something. David Chappelle said something that was heavy. David Chappelle said that black people have two voices. Y'all remember that? He said black people got two voices. That's such a true thing. Like we got one attitude based on how we deal every day, among ourselves. And then we have another spirit. The majority of us, except of course us in here in the ISUBK, we got another spirit in which we deal with this white man, this empire over. And it's different than how we deal with each other. It's a different personality than how we deal with each other. And that is from abuse. The average human being doesn't have more than one personality. Then why is it that blacks and Latinos have a different personality when amongst themselves than they are when they under the slave master? That's called psychological abuse. You understand? If you are, a monster when it comes to you and your own people, but then you go downtown and you just as polite and respectful as you could be, you dealing with two different personalities. And it's normal life to you. When that is the symptom of serious psychological abuse. And again, he laughed while the joke was being made. Then he turned, looked at her. She gave him the rolling of the eyes and the look, and he lost it. He lost it. That is psychological abuse. I feel sorry for the brother on a certain level because he doesn't know that he's caught up and tied up in it deep. I'll bet you that the rest of his extended family probably don't see him much. He's living a fully fake, phony life, trying to hold on to something that wiser brothers in the street learned a long time ago. Why is the brothers in the street? Now you know why. And Esau always said, why black men always leaving their kids? Why black men always leaving their family? Now you know why. You know why? Because enough abuse, both by the empire and by a wicked woman, will make a man flip the hell out. And rather than kill some of these women, a lot of these brothers will turn around and say, well, look, I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to leave. Okay. Get me Deuteronomy. Stick with me for a second. Give me Deuteronomy where the Lord said that about a man leaving his children. You know which one I'm talking about? Please hit me. Tell them where you at.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you.
The man that is tender among you, meaning a man that's, young and vibrant. He ain't all messed up. He's tender. He's not a overly aggressive person normally. And let me tell you something. The 12 tribes of Israel, they are the most gentle people in the world. Even though they're portrayed as violent and wicked and evil, we've been here 400 years. We ain't committing terrorist acts. We ain't bombing and blowing up place. You go to any of these other countries who haven't even been under this kind of condition, nowhere near this kind of condition, and they doing 10 times worse. Right. Thank the Most High that our people are such peaceful, righteous people. Right. Because of that, we don't do those type of things. Right. A lot of you tried to go out and follow the Arabs and take on the Arabs' way of life and do the same thing and end up in the penitentiary under the FBI. Because you tried to do something that another nation does instead of trusting in the Most High. We are gentle people. Right. Go ahead. Normally, you know what I'm saying? Make no mistake. We the most courageous fighters in the world. You understand? Don't nobody beat our people in no ring, in no sports, no physical ring at all. Right. You put these 12 tribes together and can't nobody beat them. Right. But yet they still the most peaceable people on earth. The most fiercest fighters, but yet the most peaceful people in earth. Right. Go ahead.
Kalawakan, sir, and very delicate. His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
You hear what he said? His eye will be evil towards his brother. How was Moses able to get that from the Lord and to show that to us? Your eye will be evil towards your brother if you and your brother are oppressed. And the man that's oppressing you is pitting you against your brother just the way an abuser does. That sister done did a psychological destruction of Will Smith long before the Oscars. A decade plus before the Oscars, she been did a psychological destruction on this brother, man. And I'm saying it to say that that's exactly what you suffering in America. Why the hell you don't break your spirit? Like the same way we tell women, why don't you get away from your abuser? Why don't you leave your abuser? That's what the hell we should do. We should break from our abuser. We should break from thinking like our abuser. We should break from trying to be like a puppy dog under our abusers. That's what Will Smith need to do. And guess what? That's what blacks and Latinos need to do. That's right. We need to break from that so that we could go serve the Most High. And the thing that's holding you back from serving the Most High is that you have an abuser. Right. All right. What else you holding on it? You die on that in terms of scriptures on it. Because let me tell you something. I'm watching this thing and it's all over social media and it's going over and over again, right? And as I'm watching it, I'm saying to myself, man, this is really something. This is so what happens to us and so what we do. This is us shooting each other in the hood. This is us doing drive-bys. This is all that you see going on in the hood is exactly what happened to Will Smith. And for the same reason. Will Smith acted out because he's under the spell of an abuser. And you act the way you act because you under the spell of an abuser. You love another man more than you love yourself. Will Smith loves Jada more than he loves himself. Will Smith will stay with Jada for a belief that he should never leave her more than his common sense to say this woman is abusing me. Let me get the hell away from her. That would be common sense. Common sense would be my father left my mother And I didn't like it and I felt it was wrong. But I don't want to leave my wife because I don't want to do what my father did. But she's abusing me. So I got to leave her. That's what a sensible person would do. Right. And if you're a sensible person, you'll do the same thing when it comes to the mindset of this empire. You are abused here. And that's why, an abuser, right? A person that abuses another person, like in an abused relationship, they never apologize for what they did, or they never look at what they did as wrong. They blame the victim. They beat that woman up and then say, yo, see what you made me do? See what you did? You did this. That's how they psychologically abuse a woman. Well, guess what? The empire does the same thing to us. That's why they don't give you justice when they shooting us dead or when they pulling you over in the car, dragging you out the car. They can't give you justice because if you get a sense of justice, you will fight back against the mental destruction that's happening to you. You'll want to break from the mindset of the place. So they have to make sure that you remain in an abused state, in a state of never getting justice, in a state of always being a victim. And so that you get used to it. And now they have you to it. Then now they can abuse you. And that's what happened to this brother, man. Not that I feel too much sympathy for him because he took it to violence on another brother unnecessarily, man. He took it to violence. And once again, in the UPK, we exercise the brotherhood. And the exercising of the brotherhood is how you get past all of the abuse and the suffering that you've suffered in this empire. By the time you make it to class, you'd have been mistreated on the job. If you got a woman that's in the world, you've been mistreated by her. You've been mistreated by the people you're dealing with on the subway. You've been mistreated by the mechanic that's supposed to be fixing your car. You've been mistreated by the guy that fixed your lunch, left the damn pickles out or whatever the case may be for that day. And all of that will lead you to going off on another brother if not for the truth. And it is exactly what happened with Will Smith, man. That man is a victim of abuse. And I can't believe in all Hollywood, all the comedians and actors and actresses is acting like they don't know what the hell is going on. And you said Regina King, was it Regina King that said something? Regina Hall. Play that tape if you can. Can they hear that tape if you play it right there? The part where she joked about Jada Pinkett having power over Will. And that's why the Lord said, man, give not your strength to a woman, man. No matter what, it's better you die than you give up your soul and be controlled by a woman. It's not her place. It's not her place and it's not her authority, man. And that bald head was saying, I want to be in charge.
Join us every Friday from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Unplug from the Matrix. Unplug from the Matrix. Get unplugged. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Unplug from the Matrix podcast.
Actors and actresses in Hollywood know that this is going on. They know this is going on. And you're going to see it in what Regina says. Go ahead and play it so we can we hear it in here?
Chalamet, Tyler Perry, Simu Liu, and wait, Javier Bardem. Oh, you're still with Penelope. You know what? Actually, no. Your test is fine. It says that you're married. I'm negative. Will Smith, you're married, but you know what? You're on the list and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here. So you get on up here. You're married, but you know what? You're on the list and looks like Jada approved you, so you get on up here. Get on up here. Looks like Jada approved you. Jada approved you. So you get on up here. Jada approved you. Get on up here.
You know, what she was reflecting was that Jada is really in charge. she was reflecting who's really in charge, which is Jada. That's why she said it. Jada approved it. You come on, you die.
If I could, sir, Jada didn't get up there and slap Regina.
No, she didn't. She didn't. She wasn't insulted by that. You know what I mean? And that's why he joked around like he ain't coming up, but he loved it. And that's psychological abuse. You understand? You know you have psychological abuse when you act out other than how you really are. Brothers that have been molested in the hood or abused by the cops, why you think they violent? Because they done been abused by law enforcement, abused by the system, the banks, and so they lash out in anger. Never lashing out at the right person. You understand? Like they don't never say, yo, it's this white man is the one oppressing us. Instead, they lash out at their brother, the same Will Smith lashed out on Chris Rock. For the same reason, not seeing who your abuser is and breaking that bond of abuse that's on you. And that's what's happened to us. Give me what scriptures you hold, because you got a ton of good ones hold.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yea, many there be have run out of their wits for women.
Many brothers ran out of their wits for women. That's Will Smith. He lost his wits. And we and blacks and Latinos, you lost your wits here in this empire. That's why you self-blame. When abuser abuses a woman, that woman always believes that the punishment she's receiving from her abuser is her fault. She get beat up by the cat wrongfully. She still finds a way to blame herself. I did something. They showed that real good in the Tina Turner movie. When that's what's happened to you in America. In America, you blame yourself. Black people always doing something wrong. Black people got to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Black people need to stop blaming the white man. All those are abusive statements, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not, those are statements that come from somebody that is psychologically abused and is blaming themselves for what another nation is doing to them. You've been in slavery 400 years, but you blame your people more than you blame the slave master. That's psychological abuse. Come on. Oh, come on. That's psychological abuse, man. And that's something you got to escape, just like he got to escape it. And it's going to be a horrible day for him when he escapes it. When he gets away and sees how he acted and goes back and look at these tapes and see how he acted out and everything he been doing all these years up under her spell, he going to bug the hell out. He going to say, I can't believe it. I was totally not myself. He going to be like, I was totally not myself. And that's you in America, black man, Latino man. You're not yourself. You ain't acting like yourself. And just like an abuser, what does an abuser do, man? When an abuser's trying to abuse a woman, he separates her from her people. Separate her from her parents, her friends, her family members. Well, guess what? That's what your slave master did. Separated you from your nation, wiped your nation out. You don't even know who you are. Took all your culture away from you, your clothing, your dress code, the food you ate. Took it all from you. And left you stripped bare naked, and you were open now to be abused, to act like the person that's abusing. Man, oh man, that's sad. That's sad. That's why they got to have TV shows about how to have a relationship, how to deal with children, how to raise children, reality shows. They fighting back and forth. They're able to do that, and they're able to program you with that because you've already been destroyed psychologically. And that's what Will Smith's going through. And he has no idea how to get up out of it. He need to come back to West Philly, come to the ISUBK, and get counsel.
Mm-hmm. If I may, sir, I was just thinking that earlier today. I was like, damn, you know what's crazy? Like ISUPK has so many great things that every black and Hispanic man needs. Like every black and Hispanic woman needs. Is really the counseling, the sound mind that you get from being in here over time and from wise men
And from learning these scriptures.
And from
finally
learning
what these scriptures are saying. Like if you finally get to learn, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mariah. Go ahead. Let me let you finish. Like I meant to say is like finally getting the breakdown of these scriptures is what gets you right. And listen, let me tell you what was so heavy about what you said. Millions of people are not in the UPK yet, right or wrong. Let me explain to you why. What does an abused woman say when you, as their family member, come to them and say, you know, he's abusing you, sis? What does she say? That's not true. Oh, I fell down the stairs. I bumped into the door. Go ahead, Mariah. Go ahead. Oh, damn, Mariah. Yeah, man. I bumped into the door. She does exactly what we do. When you come out on the street and say, y'all need to wake up, the white man's the devil. Brother, stop blaming the white man. White man helped me, man. A white man got me through college. Ain't no white man robbed me, but plenty of black people robbed me. Those are all statements of somebody who's been abused. They're all statements of being abused by the empire. And here you are, you just like that family member. They see the bruises, see the depression on the person that was abused, and you on the sidelines saying, yo, you got to stop. You're not being treated right. You're not handling right. And they making excuses. They trying to, no, that's not the case. I keep ticking him off. That's what an abused woman say. That's us. No, this is happening because we need to get education. We ain't going to college enough. We're not taking advantage of what we're supposed to be taking. We blaming us.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Unplugged from the Matrix podcast.
Yeah, Commanding General Yahanna is going in on it, man. Don't forget the Lord's 53rd annual Passover coming up. You know what I mean? Hope to see all my brothers and sisters down there. Yeah, man. We got to unplug from the Matrix, you know what I'm saying?
UFTM. Unplugged from the Matrix. Raw.
We blaming us for being abused by the slave master. That's what happened to Will Smith. Will Smith need to come to West Philly and say, can I speak to Commander General Yahanna about all this madness in my goddamn head?
If I could, sir, what you saying is so heavy, because that's exactly where I was going with it. Like I seen a movie yesterday, ATL. Mm-hmm. It's an old movie, came out a few years ago with T.I. and all the rappers, right? Mm-hmm. And the part of the movie was the woman he loved was lying to him about where she was from. She was really rich, but acting like she was from the hood. And his boy found out. So when her dad came to get her in front of everybody, he was he was embarrassed because he was in front of everybody. So when she came to apologize to him at his house, he around all his homies. So she come up asking, try to apologize, ask for forgiveness. You know how a man is. He told her to go ahead. But then when a boy who knew about it came to try to talk to him about it, like, look, this was going on. He said, you ain't my friend. I ain't dealing with you. You can get the hell out.
He turned on him.
And then not only that, after the friend left, because the friend got mad, like, why you turned on me? He went and kicked all the other friends that was innocent out. So because of his situation, he went and abused everybody else that was innocent. And it's just like how you say, like, we the ones saying, look, man, you gotta come back to the Most High. We getting mistreated. It's like y'all racist. Y'all, yes, it's the same. Yes. Like they push us away.
Like ISUBK is the family member that's trying to tell the other family member, listen, you being abused. You got to get out of that relationship. You need to break from that person. That's us. We the ones saying you being dealt with domestic violence. We're saying it to Will. And then when they reject it, what happens? You go in the world and get violent. You shooting each other. You joining gangs. You selling dope. We being whores. We doing everything we shouldn't be doing, but we doing it to please the slave master. You ain't a gangster because you woke up one day and decided you was gonna be a gangster. You a gangster because you turned on the TV and watched Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Godfather 3. What's the one with Al Pacino where they was drug dealers in Miami? This Scarface. Oh my God. Brothers used to have them VHSs in the bookshelf. It was like damn near required videos for the hood. Scarface, all the movies like that. Those was movies that the slave master wanted. Our music. The slave master's the one approving what music gets played, what music doesn't get played. So he's, as an abuser, he's giving you the music that demoralizes and belittles you and makes you nothing. He does that so that you could be lowered like any abuser does. So he can psychologically take your mind from you. And anybody that come along and tell you, yo, man, you need to get out of that, you get mad at them. Nigga, later for that nonsense, man. I'm on my way to college, man. Meanwhile, a third of the brothers and sisters coming out of college can't get a job. They're taking over the HBCUs. You understand? Go ahead, Marah.
If I could bring out one more
Come
point
on
that you
with
said
it, bro.
yesterday.
That's why we here.
About how in the hood, not yesterday, Monday, about how in the hood, when you come through with that whore and brothers look at you like, I know you ain't feeling her. That's how we are in the ISUPK. We the ones saying, yo, this whore, yo, like, I know you're not feeling America.
We shining a light on you. We like, do you see what you're doing? Do you see? That's what we doing. We like, do you see this? Go ahead, Marah. Go ahead.
The whore that sit on many waters. I know you're not feeling her.
Right.
Babylon, like, you can't be feeling her. Look what she did.
Yeah.
Her rap sheet.
Exactly.
And people, they turn on her. Oh, you hating on me. Our brothers be in the hood.
You try to tell, she was running with Bobby and them. They ran a train on her. You know what I mean? But you like, man, she decent. She not. DMX brothers was making fun of that DMX song where DMX said, I love my baby mama. I never leave her. That DMX song. That's a perfect analogy of us in America. I love America. And America requires it like any abuser. Abuser requires that they be loved by the person they're abusing. Even if they don't show the person they're abusing any love. You ain't got to show black people no love, but you can require it of them. You can require it of them. It don't have to be no even trade. I remember when Obama first got elected, they turned around and said, well, what is Obama going to do for black people? They said, well, Obama don't have to do anything for black people. You understand that he's the president of all of America. In other words, the abuser, the abuse victim can't act like they deserve anything. That's why he had the meltdown. It was no way in an abusive relationship that Will Smith could get an Oscar while Jada did not. And it all go smooth. That would have been just too much for that abusive woman. For that narcissistic child molester, he could not just win the Oscar and be celebrated as a great star, because an abuser, they got to always be in charge. You can't be the one on high and they on low when they're the one abusing you. Like a pimp don't let you be on high. He beats your spirit down. So you got low self-esteem. So you think of yourself as nothing so that he can make you do what he wants you to do. He don't want you to think clearly. And that's what's happened to us here. We don't think clearly here. We ain't clear. That's why the Bible is such gold to us. The Bible is such gold because the Bible allows us to look into a world and a time on the earth that's not this time. But yet we can compare the world we in now to the world that's written in that Bible, and we can see, oh, this is how they handle that. Like the same with what do they say the solution for Stockholm syndrome is? To confront your abuse. You know what I mean? Like that's the remedy for it. And so it's the same thing. It's like we open the scriptures and shine a light on you and say, yo, this is what you live in. You have been a slave in his place, just like you was a slave in Egypt. So our people, the first time out, it's like, what are these crazy Negroes talking about? Because, of course, in our abused mind, we don't think that we're a slave. Just like a prostitute, a whore don't think she is living a disgusting, horrible life. She thinks she's on the come up. Just like America, we getting there, y'all. Oh, it's so the exact same thing. We getting there, y'all. I know we got a long way to go, but we gonna get there. What did Martin Luther King say? Well, I made it to the mountaintop, and I looked over, and I may not get there with you, but I'm here to tell you, we as a people shall make it to the promised land. That's exactly what a pimp does. Girl, I know we down now. I know we suffering now, but we going to go out here and get this money, and we going to be riding in gold and rolling in diamonds. So let's go on and get that. And listen, and he is going to be riding in the rolls and rolling in diamonds at your expense. And when he get it, you're not going to get a piece of it. You just going to get the dream that you could have it the same way. It's the exact same thing. We've been psychologically abused here. And Will Smith has done exactly what an abused victim does. And she's a full out monster against him. She didn't love that young boy. That's why she left him. What's his name? August Senior or whatever. She didn't love that kid, or wasn't. That boy was a tool to abuse Will Smith. That was a tool to show him he was not the man he think he is. That's what an abuser got to do. They got to bring you down. So that's what she did to him. She abused him to bring him down by using this young boy and taking pictures. That's why everybody put the two pictures together. That picture right there is so famous because everybody compares the two pictures. Her with the two men, which is, listen, the one on the left is used to make the one on the right feel old, feel not adequate. That's why she came out and said, Will doesn't satisfy me sexually. Who could satisfy a hoe sexually? I don't even understand that.
Yeah, unplug from the matrix. Yeah, wake up out of the madness. The scripture them, I take way back to basics. The truth we must have to face it. Yeah, unplug from the matrix. Enough attack, but them look at settings. We never did feel no ratings.
Yeah, I know you're all probably exhausted with the whole idea of this story, but what Commanding General Yahanna is bringing out, man, this is super heavy. You know what I mean? We're gonna get back into it and let the general break it down some more.
Who could satisfy a hoe sexually? I don't even understand that. Like, who could? You understand? Like, you laying on these silk sheets and rolling in these diamonds ain't satisfying you, then well damn, what can? They got to run an elephant through you? What the hell? Every man running through you. So what the hell are you even talking about when it had nothing to do with that? Had nothing to do with that. It was all about abusing Will, all about messing with Will's head, because she needed Will to, one, have low self-esteem, which he got now, and two, to still pursue greatness in Hollywood so that she could be on top of the world, because without him, she would be nothing, man. And brothers should wake up and see this, man. And the whole reason y'all can't see, a lot of you defending Will Smith, well, that's his wife. You know, can't let nobody talk about the wife. You out your mind, man. The woman is a Hollywood child molester. And you acting like, degrading her husband at every turn. That wasn't about that, man. Brothers should see past what's on the surface. And a lot of you can't see it because you can't even see the abuse that America's doing to you. So I know you can't see this abuse. You can't see what Jada is doing to Will because you can't even see past your own abuse by this empire. You can't even see past the fact that for 400 years, you have been living as a second-class citizen simply because white people decided to say it for no other reason. And we got a saying about, here's another saying that's said by somebody that's abused. They say no matter how high you go, you know they always going to let you know who you are and where you came from. Anybody that says that statement is a victim of abuse. And that's us as a people. Come on, let's give me some more of them scriptures and then we're going to get up off this story.
There's more on this one, sir.
Come on.
Honorable Khan. And become servants for their sakes.
And what?
And become servants for their sakes.
Go back, go above it.
Honorable Khan. 1 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
All right, he ran out of his wits over this woman, trying to hold on to a dream that she reinforced. Let me explain to you how she did it. She knew that Will didn't want to leave his wife and children the way his father did. He saw the pain and trauma that his mother went through, and she probably talked about him, his father, like he was the worst creature on earth. A lot of women do that. That's psychological abuse, and a lot of women do it because their sons look like the father that left. So they abuse that father. They talk about that father while he's gone and unable to defend himself. They almost, this is such psychological abuse. When a child is forced to hate his father because his mother hates his father, that's psychological abuse. Tons of brothers go through that. You go to pick up your child, and your child is so glad to see you, but they can't show you it when you picking them up at the door. Because God forbid that they turn around and show that father that they love him and miss him. So they got to pretend like they really don't like him in front of her because she requires it. That's psychological abuse. Right. And tons of black women and Latino women have abused their children in that way. You hate that brother, so them children better hate him too. What you all happy for? I'm the one paying your bills around here. What he doing for you? What you so happy for? That nigga he don't do nothing for you. He ain't paying no bills around here. All that is psychological abuse. So the child got to choose now. He already got an undeveloped mind, and he got to choose between him and you. And remember now, I'm coming to you right now. Remember, August Azalea was Jaden, his son's friend. And any young black man, any black man in America, Latino man, Native Indian man, can attest to this. Any brother or friend of y'all's that was having sex with one of your friends, your mama was having sex with one of your friends, it messed you up horribly. I had friends, man, whose mother was having sex with other friends of mine. I didn't know at the time, in the hood, I didn't know that this brother's mother was a full-out child molester. And she having sex with this young kid, it rips the soul out of your friend because it makes him worthless. Why? Because if his mother's a whore and his homies know it, that means he comes from nothing. And brother, you destroy a child that way. And that's what happened to us here. Our history is ripped away from us. Where's our black accomplishments against what white America did to us? Very few do you ever hear about. There's plenty of them, but there's very few of them you'll ever hear about. Nat Turner will never be as famous as Martin Luther King. Yet he did that and more. That's why they gave it to Harriet, because she's a woman. But let there had been a black Harriet Tubman, which there was thousands of them. You ain't heard of none of them because they don't ever want it to come out anything that black men have done for black people against white America. They can't have that. An abuser can't have that. An abuser can't have your family member around that stops them from abusing you. They can't have that. They got to get rid of you so they can abuse you. America did the same thing. America wiped out your whole history. You don't know who you are, what nation you come from, none of that. You see an African and psychologically, or you automatically think that he's better than you because he got a nation, he got an identity, he got a culture, he got a language. Your woman wants him. Your woman thinks he's a better man. He got kente cloth and all that. Your woman thinks that that African is a better man than you. Simply because of the culture and identity that he has. That, my friend, is abuse. That's psychological abuse. And that's what you got to escape, man. Right. Will Smith needed to escape that, because if you don't escape it, guess what? You're going to do what Will did. You're going to turn on your brother and harm him. You'll have to harm him because you can't fight anybody else. And you refuse to fight your abuser. You refuse to fight your abuser. So you will fight your brother. Why you think Moses came down and the first thing he said was he saw two brothers fighting each other and separated them? Why were they fighting each other? They were fighting each other for the same reason they were both abused by the Egyptian empire. And rather than, dismiss the Egyptian empire and come together themselves, they, being ignorant, was trying to please the Egyptian empire by killing each other. They was giving Egypt what it wanted, which was to hate each other to the point of death. And that's what's happened to us here. We hate each other to the point of death. Some of y'all killing each other and you done forgot the reason you killing each other. But you doing it, not even realizing psychologically that the empire is the one got you doing it, because that's the one abusing you and you can't do anything about them.
Yeah. Yo, like, share, and subscribe to Unplugged from the Matrix podcast. This is Unplugged from the Matrix Raw. Special edition with Commanding General Yahanna going in on that Will and Jada situation. And Chris Rock, you know what I'm saying? Heavy stuff, man. Comment, share, repost, reshare. You know what I mean? ISUPK is the home of the truth. You know what I mean? Under Commanding General Yahanna since 1969. Yeah, we gotta push this truth, man. The general is bringing out some heavy stuff. I can't listen to it enough. You know what I mean? Let's see right here. We still got the same people in here. You know what I mean? Let's get back to the general, man. You know what I mean?
Which is why God's gonna destroy this place with nuclear war. You wonder, why would God bring nuclear bombs down on this earth? Because of that abuse. That's how evil it is. Come on, Marah.
If I may, sir, if I could, what's so heavy about this is exactly what you were saying yesterday about brothers in the hood, and from what you're saying now, like when they deal with a whore or when an abused woman is getting abused, the abuser always has a way to keep that person next to them.
Yes.
And it's usually, but I love you.
Oh, yeah.
That's America. America, big thing is love. Christians come up to us and say,
every man is created equal.
God loves everybody.
Yes. God love everybody. Jesus died for all of us. You so right, bro. I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, bro. I do not mean to cut you off, because you so right. And listen, and what does an abuser do? When you get too angry with your abuser and you tell him, I want a divorce, I'm leaving, all of a sudden he do a 360-degree switch. Oh, baby, I ain't mean nothing. Forgive me. I ain't mean nothing by them, because they don't ever want it to come out anything that black men have done for black people against white America. They can't have that. An abuser can't have that. An abuser can't have your family member around that stops them from abusing you. They can't have that. They got to get rid of you so they can abuse you. America did the same thing. America wiped out your whole history. You don't know who you are, what nation you come from, none of that. You see an African and psychologically, or you automatically think that he's better than you. Because he got a nation, he got an identity, he got a culture, he got a language. Your woman wants him. Your woman thinks he's a better man. He got kente cloth and all that. Your woman thinks that African is a better man than you. Simply because of the culture and identity that he has. That, my friend, is abuse. That's psychological abuse. And that's what you got to escape, man. Right. Will Smith needed to escape that, because if you don't escape it, guess what? You're going to do what Will did. You're going to turn on your brother and harm him. You'll have to harm him because you can't fight anybody else. And you refuse to fight your abuser. You refuse to fight your abuser. So you will fight your brother. Why you think Moses came down and the first thing he said was he saw two brothers fighting each other and separated them? Why were they fighting each other? They were fighting each other for the same reason. They were both abused by the Egyptian empire. And rather than, dismiss the Egyptian empire and come together themselves, they, being ignorant, was trying to please the Egyptian empire by killing each other. They was giving Egypt what it wanted, which was to hate each other to the point of death. And that's what's happened to us here. We hate each other to the point of death. Some of y'all killing each other and you done forgot the reason you killing each other. But you doing it, not even realizing psychologically that the empire is the one got you doing it, because that's the one. He ain't mad enough at Chris Rock to slap him at the Oscars over a BS G.I. Jane joke. He ain't that mad, but Jada is. Jada's that angry because the joke was at her. You understand? You got more on that? Come on, give it to me.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women.
Listen, that is biblical. Don't give your strength to no woman, man. You got to deal with a woman and take care of her and all that. You got to do all those right things. But the Lord said, don't give your strength to her, which means don't give her the authority and power over you. When she have your strength, that means she got power over you. That means she moves you how she wants to move you. You done gave your strength over to her. In other words, you don't have the strength to resist her or fight her no more. And that's what an empire has done to us. We don't have the strength to resist anymore. So now we just get abused. We just get abused. We just get no justice. We get no repercussions on the people that abuse us. We get no repercussions when we find out the scams and the schemes they do to us. We get no repercussions for the degradation and the things they say to us. We get no repercussions for those things. And because we get no repercussions, it gets reinforced that we have no strength. And once it's reinforced that you have no strength, then you turn around and you acquiesce to that abuser. That's why the people, when George Floyd was being killed, the people on the corner was right there screaming at the cops. But they didn't do nothing because we so used to not receiving justice that they couldn't do nothing. They saying something, they see it's wrong, they yelling at the cops, but really they don't do anything because they used to this. They used to not having any justice. You understand? Anywhere else in the world, the people would have been like, y'all better get up off him. And they would have just, got the cop up off him from killing him. But not us, because we used to being abused by them. We used to extreme force of repercussions. We used to that. And so therefore we stop fighting the abuser. We give our strength to the abuser. The abuser come along and take that strength. But guess who we do got strength for? That brother in the hood right next to you. Like, he can't fight Jada. Oh, no, she got his whole mind. Psychologically, she got his whole mind. So since he can't fight Jada, who he go fight? He go smack Chris Rock for a simple joke. That's his way to lash out. Brother, that's deep psychological warfare. It's happened to us. Finish reading it, huh? Give me a time check.
Khan, sir. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Right. You give your strength to a woman, brother, it has destroyed kings. And this is a perfect example. Will Smith is like a modern day king in this empire to a certain degree. He's one of the highest paid actors in America. Famous, wealthy, powerful, all of that. Yet, read that part again.
Khan, sir. It says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Nor your ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Yes. Unplugged from the Matrix Raw. Special edition with Commanding General Yahanna. This is part 1. Look out for part 2. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channels. You know what I'm saying? Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of them. You know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. ISUPK has saved a lot of brothers and sisters' lives, you know what I'm saying? And it would be a wonderful thing if some of our so-called celebrities and you know what I mean, people of prominence would just listen to Commanding General Yahanna, because I know what the truth has done for me, what Commanding General Yahanna, all the generals, captains, and officers has done for me and other brothers and sisters who have been in deplorable conditions in our minds and situations and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So I want to say big up to Commanding General Yahanna, big up to General Mahaimin, all the generals, captains, officers, you know what I mean, troopers, young men, sisters, and babies. I look forward to seeing y'all at the 53rd annual Passover, Cocoa Beach, Florida. You know what I mean? Look out for part 2. Look out for part 2, man. I'm gonna just do an hour today. It's gonna be like this. Big up again to, you know what I mean, my co-hosts. I just spontaneously decided to do this because I think this message that the general is bringing out is super valuable. You know what I mean? For our spirits as blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans inside of America and all over the earth. You know what I mean? So big up again, you know what I mean? Captain of 10,000, Yagarwap, Yahawada, officer of 1,000, Tabawan Yahawada, and yours truly. And don't forget, G.I. Jane 2 is coming out. You know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta look out for that. You know what I mean? The Lord's Passover. Don't forget, be there or be square.
ISUPK 53rd Annual Lord Passover.
53rd Annual Lord's Passover is going to be held down here in Florida.
It's going down.
You're here tonight to get a chance to be righteous enough to be worthy of God coming to save you and your
That's right.
It's going down. The Lord's 53rd Annual Passover.
When we say we no cowards, we talk that business. We no cowards up in here.
Book your hotels now at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, the IHG Hotel, 301 Tucker Lane, Cocoa Beach, Florida, 32926.
Here's a lot of men down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord.
Y'all see this?
Comes with all your dishes, pots, pans, forks, knives.
I got to like this. This is like an apartment and a hotel. You know what I mean?
This here right here is about to be holy ground. It's going to be holy ground. All our beautiful, wonderful brothers and sisters from all over the world. You understand? We can boast that now. Brothers and sisters coming not only from every state, but from all over the world. I heard the numbers this year is ridiculous. We had to buy out the whole hotel.
Friday, April 15th at the Space Coast Convention Center.
My camp undefeated. You cannot debate. You just want the clout. We just want the praise. I'm just
This is going to be glorious.
We don't give a fuck, you can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud, straight up out the base.
Tune in to Unplugged from the Matrix every Friday from 12 to 2 p.m. Get unplugged.
Preaching prophet of the Lord, gotta teach this people, exposing all the lies with the truth. Now they can see the evil, we the lost children of the Lord. Y'all should holler, chopping heads off with my sword. Holy Bible, one West